Hello, I'm April Brown with Zelken Financial Services, LLC, and I'm back with the tip, today's illuminated point. I'm going to talk about something different today. I'm not talking about finances, I'm not talking about a book, but I am going to talk about this program that my alma mater, which is in Raleigh, North Carolina, called St. Mary's School, puts on. And the first year they did it was in 2023, and this is the second year that they've done it. And so it's called the Young Women's Leadership Institute. So the Young Women's Leadership Institute provides a world-class leadership experience for a globally diverse cohort of young women, including a dynamic and profound leadership curriculum, skill building, active reflection, and scenario-based collaboration opportunities. Mouthful, but cool. So the Young Women's Leadership Institute is designed to provide an unparalleled opportunity for young women to expand their leadership skills and a sense of civic responsibility as they consider their own character, leadership, and integrity. So I actually attended what we're going to reduce it down to an acronym, the YWLI, this past June to actually hear my cousin, Vernice Miller Travis, speak. So Vernice is well known and is a pioneer in the environmental justice community. She has been an environmental activist, hell, as long as I've known her. I mean, really. And every time I talk to her, she's always talking about something environmental. And I'm like, what? Oh my God, I didn't know that. So I'm always learning something really cool from her. And it was actually cool to see my cousin just really talk about herself and talk about, how it all started for her as a kid. She was, if she could have been a Black Panther, she would have been a Black Panther kind of thing. It was very cool. And so I was excited just to, see somebody interview my cousin at this Young Women's Leadership Institute and talk about her leadership skills and what she's done within the environmental justice arena. So several of the young ladies that attended actually wrote a newsletter that I actually got a copy of, and it focused on influential leaders and their behaviors. And so a group of them, there were 4, they actually wrote about just kind of leadership theory, and they applied it to the speakers that came to talk. So the newsletter was centered around leadership theories versus myths. And what they did was look at the different leadership theories as early as the 19th century up to the 20th century. So as they go through the newsletter and they talk about what the theory is and how each of these women in particular fall in that particular theory, or they debunk it. So I'm going to just kind of go into some of the theories that they talked about. There were 8, and I'll just give you kind of a quick blurb just to understand what these young ladies were doing with this this newspaper. So they talked about the theory of transformational foundation. And so that's defined as, to be a good leader, one must inspire their workers to go above and beyond their own capabilities by motivating them with the leader's own mistakes and challenges that they've had to overcome themselves. The second one was the transitional theory origin. And so what that says is a good leader must be able to enforce their authority upon their workers, so to inspire them to perform at their best. The third one was the origin of the great man theory, established in the 19th century, and argues that leaders are born with built-in qualities and cannot be learned or created. We know that was debunked. So the origins of the trait theory, which was founded in 1936, and it promotes the idea that certain people are more naturally gifted as leaders, and this psychological approach suggests that people have the traits that shape their behaviors and emotions. And so the 5th theory they talk about is the theory of contingency. Emerging in the 1960s, It says leadership distinguishes between leaders who are task and relationship oriented. So relationship oriented leaders tend to focus on building strong and lasting relationships with their employees and part-time prioritizing healthy work culture, while task-oriented leaders focus on completing the task at hand, regardless of the relationship that they have formed with their employees. Two different types of folks. So the sixth theory is the theory of situation. So the idea here is it emphasizes the significance of context and holds that a leader should adjust to the shifting context to achieve objectives and make judgments. Then the seventh one is the behavioralist theory. So it suggests that leadership skills are not innate, but rather influenced by one's environment. So anyone can acquire leadership abilities through training and experience. And the eighth, which was the functional theory, so developed between the 1930s and 60s, and that in a society, everyone and everything serves a purpose and is needed for the long-term survival of that society. With all eight theories, the young women actually attach different speakers to those particular theories and really wrote a blurb on, why they debunked it, why they actually represented it. And so it was really good, and it provided some, pretty quick insight about what they were thinking and how they were thinking and what they were trying to, connecting the dots. So what I liked about this was that you knew it's not just about them talking to the leaders and just absorbing the information, but they actually got some practical things in terms of looking at the leadership theories and how they apply to today. And so the young women are challenged to think. And I believe the Young Women's Leadership Institute is important in shaping young women into the leaders of tomorrow, no matter how much others try to roll back women's rights. Yeah, I said it. So, if you're interested in attending the Young Women's Leadership Institute, please reach out to St. Mary's School in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I hope you got something out of this. I am April Brown with Zelken Financial Services, LLC. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and have a great day.